Hey there guys, this is me, Malorian, and this will be a kind of quick little Guild Ball battle report. So my daughter and I, we play every few weeks or so, and it's nice, you know, it's nice to have a game you can play with your kid. And in this one here, I want to explain that there'll be a couple of rules that'll be a little bit different than normal. Now, first of all, my list here, the models I'm taking, other than the fact that I want to use Seasoned Brisket, all my other stuff is random. I basically just shuffled my cards, and this is what I took. So don't ask like, oh, why did you take this specific build? Because it's completely random. As well, to kind of give my daughter a bit of an advantage, she picks the order I activate. So, you know, it's just one of those handicaps, makes the game more fun for everyone. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So at this point here, from left to right, I have Mist, Coin, Seasoned Brisket, Gutter, Rage, and then Fangtooth, while she is running from left to right, Fillet, Avarice, and Greed. This is the first time she'll be playing them. And then Boar, Princess, Tenderizer, and then Meat Hook has gone up and kicked the ball already. And yeah, pretty much what I'm planning to do in this game here is I know she loves loading up Fillet and just slicing me up. I have to accept that, and I'm just going to try and get goals wherever I can. So, you know, maybe Rage might take out a random model or something, but for the most part, I'm really going to be leaning on Seasoned Brisket and on Mist, trying to get some goals to get me a win in this game. So I go first, and she picks not to do Mist, so I'm just going to bring Mist over here. He's in a spot where Fillet could get to me, but at least it's kind of way far over here. He probably wouldn't kill me. I could later heal, stuff like that. I'm really trying to tempt Fillet out of the fight, so I can kind of be a little bit more of control in the center. He's then going to be going a Princess, who's just kind of like edging up. This is, you know, this is a nothing play, but again, this is something that she's kind of learned from me, where it's nice to do some plays beforehand that do pretty much nothing to try and bait things into range of Fillet. Next, he chooses for me to go with Coin, so I do Bag of Coffers to Gutter, and otherwise just kind of move up, but make sure to stay within an inch of cover here. He's then going to come up here with Boar as far as he can. Then from my side, she picks for me to go with Fangtooth, and I did some measurements, and I was actually in range to get over here and get over to the ball. It's actually very difficult when you can't plan out your turn. You never know how much influence to put on things, but luckily he had 2 on him, or maybe it was even 3, so you could run up to the ball and then try and pass it back here to Gutter, who would be basically just barely in range. Now, he's a kick 1, so I was really just, you know, flipping a coin to see if this would work or not, and hey, it worked, so why not? Otherwise, he's just setting up his goalie here, Tenderizer coming a little bit back to the net. Normally, you want your goalie further up. You know, he gets a bonus if he's within 4 inches, so his happy place is 4 inches in front of the net, just to be really annoying. Next one here he picks for me is Gutter, and I was gonna go up. I haven't used Gutter in a while. Ever since season 2, I haven't used her, and I was like, oh, this would be great. I can go up there, I can drag in Boar, and then Rage will be in range. And then I realized you can't trigger the chain pull anymore. You have to do it with Guild Balls, not just by paying for it with influence. So I had to charge up there, did some damage. At one point, I could have actually pulled Boar in, but Rage wouldn't have been in range anyway, so who really cares? So I did a little bit of damage to him. I also knocked him down to try and make it harder for him to get his free charge. But yeah, got a little bit of influence. That's the main thing. Oh, I also dropped the ball before I did that to have the ball on Seasoned Brisket. So next up, she's going to be going with Avarice and Greed. Now, she has seen me use Avarice and Greed quite a bit. First of all, going up there and, of course, getting a long bomb goal. And then also setting up Avarice and Greed just to slice things up, right? Greed is pretty damn good. And so that's what she does. Avarice runs up. Greed pops out, comes over here and starts attacking Gutter. The real problem here is that he didn't give them a lot of influence. You know, Avarice just had 1, which he had to use to run. And then Greed only had 1, so sure, he came up here and made some attacks, but that's really it. He made 1 attack, did 2 or 3 damage, and got a momentum out of it, but now Greed is kind of sitting there in the danger zone. So she then says my next activation is going to be Rage, and yeah, this is where she learns that Greed was not safe, and Rage easily takes out Greed there. So that's going to make it a 2-0 game for me. Of course, I have a whole bunch of influence now, or momentum rather, so this is looking pretty dang good. Next up though, she's going to go with Fillet. Fillet looked like she was way far away, but she is damn fast. She did that whole whatever it is, to get +2 speed. She was able to run around here. She couldn't charge because it didn't have a clear line, but basically she got in here, started attacking Rage, did some pretty good damage, and did a blood rain, so now both Gutter and Rage are bleeding, so that's bad. I asked her if she wanted to do her legendary now, but she wanted to save it till later, and then after the last attack, she kind of like just dodged back too as well. So yeah, I mean, Rage is really hurt right now. Both of them are bleeding, and yeah, that's not good for me at all. So next up, I'm going to be going with Seasoned Brisket, and I'm going to be trying to go around this way. Now, what I'm hoping again is that she forgets that I have unpredictable movement, so if Fillet comes after me, I could just unpredictable movement 2 inches away. But yeah, you know, if I could try and baiting some things over, and again, she's really sneaky, right? My legendary is I basically teleport to somebody else, and then they get a 6-inch dodge. But for the most part, like if I have somebody deep in there, right? If Mist goes far up there, I can just teleport to them. So that's extremely handy. So that's the end of the first turn. We end this one being 2-0. I had more momentum and I won the roll-off, so I'll be going first. So my main objective here is I definitely want to try and get 1 goal, so I load up Seasoned Brisket. Otherwise, I'm fairly certain that he's going to be killing off Rage for sure, but I don't know what. So I put 1 there anyway, just kind of force her hand to make her do that. You can see Greed came back over there, so you know, I might go after him again too, but my number 1 objective is going to be getting that goal. So my first activation that I'm told to do is coin, so I come over here and I put 1 on Gutter with the bag of coffers, and that's really it. And then next up, she is going to be going with Meat Hook and coming over here and tooling up Fillet here. And so now, yeah, that's going to be pretty damn good. One thing that I didn't mention is that on my turn, I had counterattacked with Rage one of the times. Actually did some damage, made her bleed, and then of course when I bled around her, she just healed that up, and she had used momentum to stop the bleeding. But yeah, now her there tooled up, that's going to be really bad for me. So the next one that I'm told to do is Fangtooth. Fangtooth comes up here and punches Meat Hook. So I don't do any damage, but I make her bleed. So, you know, if he doesn't spend momentum, then at least that's 3 damage. That's something. Her next activation here is a defensive one. So basically, Avarice goes back, runs back, sprints back rather, and then Greed moves up, and then where they go up. So now they're base to base. So next turn, he can like hide inside the backpack again. But I think this is the turn I realized this whole thing I'm doing with my daughter where she picks my activations, I think is actually hurting her, because clearly if you're playing a regular game, her first activation, okay, maybe you do tooled up, cool, but then Fillet needs to go as soon as possible. Now she knows that she can delay because she controls what order I go, but yeah, this is where I was starting to wonder if this whole thing I'm doing to be nice and make things fun might actually not be helping her in the long run. So next up, she picks for me to be going here with Mist. He just kind of moves up there again as a target for the legendary if I need it, and otherwise, it's always nice to have Mist up the board. So on her turn, this is where she gets to live up and do everything she loves with this Butcher Guild, and basically in comes Fillet, and she does the blood rain, puts them on all bloody and bleeding, and doesn't even need the legendary, just slices through them because she is doing on average 5 damage every single attack. So Rage goes down quickly, making it 2-2 for her there, and then next up kills Gutter with an attack to spare, and yeah, so now there she is winning 4-2. And it was at this point that her brother started trying like, oh, come on, come play video games. And so she then said like, we're gonna play this game to only 6 points. So she feels really good about this because she's currently winning 4-2. but I think she made one critical error. And I tried saying like, how about 8? Let's do 8. She's like, no, let's do 6. Sure, she's the boss. So the next activation that I have left, like all I have is this, because I've either gone with the other models and the ones that didn't go yet are dead. So Seasoned Brisket basically goes and charges Boar, gets some momentum, and then dodges up to be within range of the net. The way it works, I get 3 dice. I am -1 dice because of having to shoot through Tenderizer. I'm going to bonus time to make it 3 dice again. Normally I need 4s, it's 3s because I'm -1 to my target number because I'm Seasoned Brisket, but because he has a goalie, it's +1, so basically it's 3 dice being minus and plus, and I'm just still 3 dice trying to get a 4+. I get it, it's a screamer, and I guess with what my daughter said, I win 6-4. So it wasn't a full game, we didn't really get to do lots here, but hey, you know, if it's something that's a refresher and keeps her playing the game, sure, why not? So there you go, guys. Very quick Gill Ball game. I had stopped doing these, but I got some requests to start adding these in again. So sure, I'll make sure to add these whenever they happen. And otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. Bye. Hey there, if you liked watching this video, please go down and give it a like down below you here. And if you have any concerns or questions or comments, please put those in the comment section as well. You know, the best way for me to give you what you want to see is if you tell me what you like seeing and what you don't like seeing. So otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.